Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and oh my god, this week I can't even handle it and it's already Tuesday. Also, total side note, don't forget Fire and Ice event, Pokemon Go starts today, 3 o'clock Central. There was a card banning announcement today. I feel like it wasn't scheduled because nothing was released or changed or happened or I don't know. Now, I could be wrong. I mean, finding an up-to-date and accurate post-changes, and more changes list of the ban announcement times, I mean, you're more likely to find a Malaysia Airlines flight that crashed. I really think this was an out-of-cycle one because nobody was talking about, oh, I hope they banned something exactly on this random Tuesday. Either way, all other formats had no changes except for Standard. Now, you guys had to have already heard about this because people are like celebrating in the streets and like having confetti thrown from windows. Somebody in my neighborhood actually lit a Toyota Camry on fire and then rolled it down a hill into a lake. You know, that's usually something you do when you're mad, but apparently people are just excited. I mean, it's kind of like, well, I guess a hockey match in Canada would be the proper comparison. If your team loses, you smash all the windows of the local shops and flip cars over and light them on fire. And if your team wins, you smash all the local shop windows, light cars on fire, and flip them over. Subtle difference. But without further ado, which people need to stop saying on YouTube. Can we stop that yet? Please? Well, no surprise, Standard is an unplayable pile of garbage. What are they going to do about it? Oh, here comes Aaron Forsyth with the steel chair. Bam! Aetherworks Marvel got the ban hammer. It's almost like casting things for free is broken. I don't know how I know that, but Wizards R&D doesn't. I mean, even if you say that they did not expect Ulamog to be legal at the same time as that, and Emrakul, you could say by extension, doesn't really make up for it. Because, I mean, you could bring out, I don't know, the 10-10 Colossus thing, Metalwork Colossus, what the hell that thing's called. You could bring out one of the hexproof, you know, what, 7/7s with trample or whatever in green. I mean, there's dragons and sphinxes that are pretty competitive these days. Maybe some angels or something. You know, just some side cards that would see a spotlight if you could cast them for free. And plus, if Aetherworks whiffs on the Ulamog cast, it usually just brings out more creatures, generates more energy, and can just win the game by flooding. I mean, they're casting twice as many spells as you. You guys have seen my As Foretold deck. I just cast twice as many spells as my opponent. That's how I win. Also, more than 50% of them are removal and counter spells. That helps. So, all I read was the announcement so far. It's just, hey, Aetherworks Marvel is banned, all other formats, no change. Effective date, June 19th. Thank God. Actually, June 19th, that is... Oh, that's Monday! Great! So I gotta sit through another Friday. Whatever, there's only 1 or 2 people playing Marvel at my local gaming store, and there were more, but they couldn't win a damn game. Like, I'm not even kidding. They couldn't win. I don't get this. I'd say clearly, since this is such a deck-stacking cheater deck, that everybody at, like, the Pro Tour and GPs were just cheating, because they were. I mean, duh. But this deck is leading on MTGO, where it is basically impossible to cheat. I don't know, maybe it's just the volume of rogue decks. I mean, the Marvel deck can beat other competitive decks, but it can't beat decks that take Aetherworks Marvel into consideration. So really weird crap, Red Rush, removal, counter removal, there's all kinds of decks that can beat it. Life gain, attack sack, mono white, I mean, white humans. So yeah, they just stopped showing up with it because they spent all that money and they couldn't win a damn game. It was hilarious. So according to them, 26.9% of, quote, the field, whatever that means, was Teamer Aetherworks. Now 12% was blue-red control, and that deck is good. I mean, I beat it with mine, so mine's clearly better. Like, I beat it like 4 out of 4 on X-Mage, so I think, I mean, it wasn't just, oh, I outdrew them, oh, lucky me, oh, what a good, lucky match, oh, that was close. No, it was like they got shut down, like a power switch was flipped. So if you really want to run a powerful deck, stall and steamroll. That deck, it just does not lose. Unless you get mana screwed, then it does. And that happens a lot for some reason. Now, the funny thing is, Teamer energy without Aetherworks is actually 6.7%. Energy is just good. I mean, it just is. Now, red-green, I'll add the word energy, Pummeler is 5.8%. Mardu Vehicles is still 4.3%, because that's still a decent deck. Esper Vehicles, that one's interesting. I played against that, 3.5%. Black-green energy, I haven't seen that one, 3%. Sounds good, though. White-blue flash mid-range. In other words, blue-white spirit control, 2.5%. I can't talk. Not bad. Then there's actually 2.5% Jund Gods. I didn't see that coming. And 2.4% black-green Constrictor. Because of course. Now, things were more than twice as bad at a couple of the Grand Prix. Like, I think Amsterdam, 43% of the Day 2 decks were Marvel. So, or I should say, 43% of the Day 2 decks that went 7-2. Remember, it's not about how many people show up with the deck. It's how many people actually succeed with the deck. Because people showing up with a crappy deck that doesn't work in large numbers, like, what does that mean? That just means the deck's overpowered, obviously. So let's get their actual written opinion on why they did this, or their own statement. I haven't actually read it yet. I might as well read it verbatim. It's really short. When considering the health of a format, there are many factors to take into consideration. Is one strategy so dominant as to be the only correct choice? Does any other deck trump the strategy in question in any meaningful way? Is there likely to be, or has there been, a recent shift in the metagame? Is the metagame share of the best deck higher than would be expected? Are players engaging with the format? And when they do, are they having fun? Oh my god, Wizards finally got a damn clue. Holy crap. It's not just about numbers, it's not about percentages, it's not about diversity, it's not about the Pro Tour, it's not about the 0.03% of players that play competitively. It's, hey, here's the top deck. Is it fun to play against that deck? Now, it could be argued that losing is never fun, but it's not really true. But if a game seemed like a game, like at least some people can get something out of that, whether they win or lose. I mean, if I homemade a deck and it cost $15 and somebody's bringing a $300 deck and I kind of almost won or held my own until I ran out of cards or just, you know, something. Like, I got to cast some stuff, I got to do some stuff, it was a back and forth tug of war, and then I lost. I'd be perfectly happy with that. Me getting every single spell canceled and once I finally get one through, it gets blown up. That's not okay. There's nothing okay about that. Red, white, blue, Saheeli, control, stall, infinite combo was such a toxic load of crap. So no, not fun to play against. I would say though that Teamer Aetherworks was okay to play against. I mean, it had just enough control to be annoying, but that's just what people choose to play in Magic sometimes. I also think it was extremely fragile, but the one thing where I side with Wizards on this is, for sure, you shouldn't have to build your deck around it. You shouldn't have to say, well, I have to put in counter spells that can stop the summoning of Aetherworks, and I have to put in an Ulamog remover just in case, and I have to put in like enough whatever to play around control. Honestly, you kind of have to do that anyway. You know, and then, oh, I have to have artifact removal too, I guess, or whatever. That's not something that should have to be the case. You should never have to absolutely build every deck you ever build around one deck, and I think that's what it was right now. So, on to the second part of their statement. The Aetherworks Marvel deck that has been the largest part of the competitive standard metagame since the release of Amonkhet is not a fundamentally broken deck in the traditional sense. That is true. Its win percentages against other decks in the metagame don't paint the picture of true dominance. That is also absolutely true. And then they put in parentheses, despite some prevailing opinions. Yeah, they are wrong. The deck is not just absolutely run you over unbeatable. It's actually extremely fragile. It's just mathematically pretty good, and the cards in it are pretty good. So it wins a pretty good percentage of the time. That's just all there was to it. So they said, here, for example, is data compiling the last several weeks of Magic Online Competitive Standard League, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's the thing I just read off. So they also had on the chart, how often decks other than Teamer Aetherworks beat Teamer Aetherworks. And it was actually pretty decent. I mean, just going down the list in the same order that I said before, it's 45%, 38%, which the 38 was like the lowest one on there, and that's Mono Black Zombies. That is surprising, because I thought swarming that deck actually worked. But Teamer Energy, 51%, then you got 59%, 50%, 61, 54, 57, 51, 50. So almost every other deck would beat the holy crap out of Teamer Aetherworks. I don't get why it was winning then. I guess solely because it beat Blue-Red Control 55% of the time, and Mono Black Zombies only managed to beat Aetherworks 38% of the time, and those were the two most popular second and third decks. So, reinforces what I said. It's not that great of a deck. It's very sensitive, fragile, and can lose very easily. It's just really good at the next two decks, at beating them. So if you show up to a GP and you play mostly people playing the top three decks, you're going to win. and if you go to F&M with it, you're going to lose. And that actually always was kind of funny to me because, you know, net deckers are douchebags. Now, the next statement is pretty funny. We recognize that those numbers shift when play moves to higher levels, Grand Prix, Star City Games Opens, and Pro Tours. Hey, guess what? Guess what, Wizards? It might be because people are cheating at those. I mean, I'd love to hear their explanation for it. Boy, this statement keeps going after the graph. I'm not going to read this verbatim. There is one statement that stands out to me. Holy crap, Wizards finally got a clue. I am shocked. That's not the statement. They would not put that in the article. Win rate and metagame share aren't all we consider. Yes, it is. Shut up, liars. We've spoken with a variety of standard players in recent weeks, from pros to local grinders, on the merits of banning versus not banning, and here, at least, there was a virtual consensus. The card Aetherworks Marvel is not healthy or fun for standard. You're damn right it isn't. It's almost like casting spells without paying their mana cost is inherently broken and not fun and not fair. Stop printing this mechanic. So they go into detail saying, you know, it's not about the win percentage, it's how it wins. Basically, it has the potential for, quote, unbeatable draws, like a turn 4 Ulamog. I mean, the game is absolutely over at that point. So losing in that manner is not fun. That's just stupid. It only happens in about 9.4% of the games, as they put it, but that's stupid. As they put it, having 10% of your games end that quickly is justifiably unpalatable to most of you. Hey, Wizards confirming yet again that Standard is not a turn 4 format. Everybody's saying that Standard is a turn 4 format in my comment section. Shut the hell up, you're wrong. I am so sick of people spreading that ridiculous misinformation. And then they go on to say, yeah, the best type of game is where you have plays and counterplays on both sides and people can actually do stuff and, you know, whatever. Yeah, they're right. I'm still shocked. I can't get over the fact that they talked to pros and local, like, F&M people, and then they considered how fun the deck is to play against. I think actually some of them watch my channel because I've been the only one saying that over and over and over. Hi, Wizards of the Coast staff. Shout out. For real, though, if they catch you watching my channel, they're going to fire you. Man, they went all out, and by they, I mean Aaron freaking Forsyth wrote this article. He wrote, "We're all sensitive to the fact that Standard has been through turbulent times lately." But then they do end that paragraph with, you know, our goal is to let people play with the cards they have. Yes, if I don't get to play my deck, I don't care. I'm not showing up to F&M. It's a load of crap. I'm not playing against whatever toxic garbage didn't let me play a single card in my deck. I mean, it's on par with the most annoying thing in all of Magic, getting mana screwed. I mean, you get stuck with like 1 land or 2 lands or something, you can't play any cards from your deck. It's the same thing if you play an unbeatable Ulamog turn 4 or control heavy loop draw garbage or infinite combo, it's equal to not getting to play your deck. I mean, they're both equivalent and they're both annoying as hell, so at least they've finally realized that. Now, this is wild. I have to end the video with this because this is crazy. I mean, people like read this and were shocked. They said, we considered several weird or off-the-wall options, you know, because their last option is to ban a card, as they have stated on many accounts. They do not want to ban a card, it loses value and it pisses people off. Somehow shutting down the deck and making it not competitive so that you also can't play the deck and you lose all the value, apparently that's okay with people. I don't get it. Anyway, they said, we discussed something we called pair banning, where 2 cards could not be played in the same deck, but could be played separately, which is what other trading card games have done. I support that absolutely 100%, because there's no reason that I shouldn't be able to make a cat tribal deck and run Felidar Guardian. I mean, Felidar Guardian without an infinite combo is actually pretty damn good. I would support pair bannings 100%. Absolutely, I think that is the perfect solution. They didn't really give a reason why they didn't do that, actually. Kind of weird. But then they said, we looked at making other cards legal for Standard that otherwise wouldn't be, like Pithing Needle and Duress. Now, that I can't get behind. Okay, where the hell would people get them if you can't open them in boosters? Like, Pithing Needle is old as hell and it's moderately expensive. That goes into the whole, okay, everybody has to have Pithing Needle in their deck because of this one deck that's ruining Standard, so everybody go get a copy of Pithing Needle and run your deck 1 card down. No thanks. And then you get into the whole, okay, now everybody's running Pithing Needle, so nobody's running Aetherworks Marvel, so then everybody takes Pithing Needle out of their deck. Oh, look, nobody's running Pithing Needle. And then everybody runs Aetherworks Marvel again. I've seen stuff like that happen. They even looked at restricting a card, which means you can't run more than X of it, usually 1. And even functional errata, which, no, making the card work differently than it's written, don't do that. Do not go down that route. I mean, if they just say, okay, Felidar Guardian no longer can target a Planeswalker, it now says non-Planeswalker. Well, no, the card doesn't say that. You would just have to know that. And then everybody will be playing the card wrong from now until eternity, and people will start getting pissed off at F&M. So they said, ultimately, all of these created more problems than they solved, which is true except for the first one. Pair bannings would work. I don't know why they think they wouldn't. I mean, maybe there's something I'm not thinking of, so, you know, whatever. So then, of course, they said, yeah, we decided to stick with the tried and true solution, even though we, like you, would rather it not come to this again. 1, fire the people in R&D who let this crap get through. 2, never print a free casting mechanic ever again in the rest of the game as long as you live. I mean, they even made the dumb mistake of saying one reason we typically hesitate to consider banning cards is that we don't like destroying entire deck types. Oh yeah, so just make Pithing Needle legal and then destroy the entire deck type. I mean, the deck has to be stopped. It's overpowered. No matter how you do it, it's going to lose value, and it's not going to be competitive. Whatever. Anybody playing that deck is an asshole, so don't forget that factor. They're a pay-to-win copycat. I have to win at all costs. Screw everybody around me. I don't care if anybody's having fun. Level douchebag. It's just like Lantern Control and Affinity. How messed up in the head do you have to be to bring that to a competition and just ruin everybody else's time? I mean, like, what is wrong with you? You have to win that badly that you bring the most toxic decks in all of Modern? Okay, I'll throw Infect in there too. Everybody hates Infect. So then they went so far as to show a Teamer Energy deck, which was already 4th on their list of prevalence. They said, yeah, we just took out Marvel and Ulamog, and they just put in, like, more energy crap, and they put in, like, more Chandras, and it's practically the same damn deck. They put in Glorybringers. I mean, you got your Long Tusk. They've actually got 22 creatures instead of 10, so them saying it's the same deck is a little bit of a stretch. But I played against that deck. That deck ain't no joke. I mean, for real. I mean, that deck is pretty damn competitive. So anybody who already has an energy deck in those colors, just swap it slightly. And honestly, the cards that swap in aren't even that expensive. They did use that deck as an illustration, though, that the whole Aetherworks Marvel Ulamog combo was added to a deck that already was Tier 1 competitive, making it a little bit overboard and a hell of a lot less fun. So, yeah. No, they do. I honestly thought this article was over. It just keeps going. They said, finally, we're aware of the toll that these bannings take on players in the game. Me too. It pisses off all the asshole net deckers who pay to win. They put in zero work, they just copy the top deck, and they go win packs and piss everybody off. Oh, and it makes them mad and waste their money. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I don't give a crap about these people. If you play Energy Marvel in any form, you are a terrible person and you deserve to lose the money and lose the deck. So yes, I'm also aware of the toll that these bannings take on the players in the game, and they can all shove it. Now, the last statement is actually interesting. It sounds like they're skipping the next ban announcement. So the actual next ban announcement will be after Pro Tour Hour of Devastation on August 28th. I think there's supposed to be one like a week before the release of HOU or something like that. But then again, like, I don't think this one was scheduled either, so whatever. I'm just happy they got rid of it. Like they said, it wasn't that toxic, it wasn't that bad, it wasn't that dominating, it just wasn't fun and it was broken. So if you remove it, the deck still kind of works, it's just not out of control and not like a slap in the face to Magic, and you might actually get to play your deck. So overall, 100% support this. The reasoning behind it was actually pretty damn accurate. The read on the game in the community was pretty accurate, and that's encouraging, so awesome. They honestly should have taken Torrential Gearhulk with it, but whatever. Oh, and Avacyn and Gideon, and what else am I sick of? I could go on for about 12 more cards. It's almost like there's too many cards in the standard pool right now. So, what do you guys think about this? Do you agree that they should have banned the Aetherworks Marvel card, or, on the other hand, are you wrong? Leave your comment down in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next video.